doing well. Absolutely
Mm-hmm.
very well. And thank you for asking me, ma'am. How about you, ma'am?
Same here. I'm doing pretty well today, and the weather is also very nice here. Well, I guess from last 2, 3 days it's quite pleasant, but before that it was really cold. How about your side?
Yeah, yes, in my side also, it's like very cold. And
Mm-hmm.
I think last week it was a drizzling here, but nowadays
Mm-hmm.
it's very cold. It's winter season. No? Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
up to another 2 months. It will be cold. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to go outside because the weather is too cold.
Right, but you're not wearing any kind of sweater or woolies.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I am in the single room. I covered everything, so I
Uh-huh.
uh, feel better.
Okay, that's great. Okay, tell me something more about you. Like, where are you from? What are your hobbies?
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, my name is Sangapa, ma'am. I am connecting you from Bangalore, which is in Karnataka. Actually, I born and brought up from a small village, and nowadays I have been working in government sector for past 15 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I am staying in Bangalore with my wife and kids, and my parents are staying in my native place. And if I comes to about my qualification, I have done diploma, and if I talk about my hobbies, I love to read newspaper and watch YouTuber conversations and English contents. I love to read a story book. Yeah, that's all about me, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. So you love reading storybooks. So this hobby was always there, or you just discovered it?
I think since last 1 month because I
Uh-huh.
learned this language, so that's why I have been learning. I have been reading both those books because if you read storybooks, we can easily understand kids' books and stories books. We can easily understand. We can easily learn. So
Mm-hmm.
I have been started to read that.
So it's been only 1 month that you started your English journey.
No, ma'am. Actually, I have been started English journey for past 4 months. But at
Okay.
the earlier time, I didn't know how to speak and how what are the tricks I have to follow. So
Mm-hmm.
I watching conversations, YouTuber conversations. So many people
Mm-hmm.
are guiding how to follow the tricks. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I have been started for past 1 month, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And I must say that is your English is very nice, and you have that calm demeanor, that pleasant personality that makes you a whole complete package.
Thank you, ma'am. Because I have very passionate to learn this language, ma'am. Actually, when I was in my childhood, that time also I decided to learn this language. But that time I didn't have this type of facility. That
Mm-hmm.
time we didn't have a smartphone, laptops, and Wi-Fi, internet facilities. Nowadays we have a lot of opportunities to learn this language. Nowadays
Mm-hmm.
internet facility, laptops, and some other applications we have available in the society, so we can easily learn. Earlier,
Mm-hmm.
people were going to learn the spoken class they are following. But nowadays, that type of facility is not useful because we can get everything in our by hand only, so we can easily learn. Even
Absolutely true. Hmm. Right. Earlier, we were just relying on coaching centers for learning English, but now there are many, many things available. You can still learn English at your home itself. You need not to go anywhere to any institute, to any tutors. Just by sitting at your home, you can learn English. There are many apps available, right? So that's we can say that we are very fortunate enough that not later in life, but yes, in our young age we got all this opportunity, maybe not in our childhood, but yes, it's never too late to learn English or to learn any new skill.
yes,
And
yes.
I am very curious to know about this, that if I talk about myself, I feel storybooks, like reading kids book, a little boring, because we don't have that mindset of reading those simple stories or moral stories at this age. We want to learn something interesting or something that of our interest, something psychological, or like if I talk about my interest, then I love reading something mystery or something mysterious, some kind of thrill like that. But I am not really interested in storybooks. So how come you are interested in storybooks in this age?
Actually, ma'am, it's completely depending upon the person to person. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm passionate to learn this language. It's really necessary for me because first I want to learn this language. One, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you read that story books, if we read story books, we can understand the grammar. We can get the new vocabs, so we can learn this. So after that, what we can teach to our kids also academic education through the moral of the stories, because nowadays kids are very naughty, they are not listening our parents words.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to say the story, those
Mm-hmm.
affect them easily. So we can by the story we can teach academic education also. So that trick I am using. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning the story. I'm getting vocabs. I'm understanding the grammar. So I can teach to kids. So that
Mm-hmm.
I'm following. So why you are not following? That means you have already speaking well. You are understanding
Mm-hmm.
your concept will be different.
Mm-hmm.
You want to evaluate more and more. So
Mm-hmm.
was according to
So I can say that you're learning English more for your kids than for yourself because you want to teach them and you want to make them understand through stories, right? That's why you're learning stories. And that's the perfect approach because I can also relate to it. Whenever I tell my kids with the help of any stories, whenever I make them understand anything with the help of stories, they understand it in a better way rather than just saying it. They'll never listen to you. But if you'll make up any story and then you'll tell them, they'll definitely understand you. So that's a good approach, I must say. And how old are your kids?
uh, I have actually three kids, ma'am. One first elder daughter studying in 8th standard,
Mm-hmm.
13 years, and second daughter she's studying in 5th standard. She's I think 9 years old, and the last is son is studying in first standard. He's 6 years old, ma'am.
All right. So do they speak in English?
Yeah, ma'am. They also speak English because I
Mm-hmm.
told my kids also in English medium school. So
Mm-hmm.
my motive is to create English environment in my home because
Mm-hmm.
they are speaking in English. So simultaneously, if I want to speak in English my home, they can easily get fluency in this language.
Right. That's so good thing you're doing because you're providing them atmosphere to speak in English and that we were lacking in our childhood, right? So that's an amazing thing. And tell me more about yourself. Anything you want to talk about?
Actually, I first you have to give your introduce, ma'am. Actually, you have not given.
Uh-huh. Yes, so my name, as you already know, Sunita Rawat, and I hail from a beautiful region of Chamoli, Uttarakhand, mother to two boys, and I run a YouTube channel named Sunita's English Adventure. That is completely dedicated to English. I meet people through my YouTube channel. I practice my English with them, and I love teaching also. I love imparting my knowledge. So for that, I teach spoken English to beginners. So that's all about me.
Amazing, ma'am. Amazing. Yeah.
Okay. So are you comfortable talking about that news that is from Bangalore these days, all over YouTube, all over news channels, that is of Atul Subhash? Are you comfortable talking about that? Are you following that news?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, ma'am. I am following.
Mm-hmm. So what are your views on that?
Actually, I watch, English new channel only. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to get, actually, I don't have time that much to watch everything because
Mm-hmm.
I'm working in government sector. I want to
Mm-hmm.
please at early in the morning, 8 o'clock and up to 5 o'clock. So today is my week up. So today is my whole day. I am in the home only, so I am
Mm-hmm.
practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So early in the morning, I watch English news half an hour. So
Mm-hmm.
after that, I practice my language, this language in the YouTube channel only. I watch YouTuber conversation, some other English, English videos, some podcast, and some other videos. I watch them. So apart from, I use one more application, CV application, because I use application 30 minutes every day. It is available for me for practicing. I
Mm-hmm.
because consistency is really important in this language. So that's why I use these two applications, one is Skype and the CV application. So by making consistency purpose, I use this application. So my main motive is to get fluency in this language. I speak how much is possible, that much I can do practice now.
Right. There is 30 minutes talk time, free talk time, right?
uh,
Hmm.
the Skype is application always available, so
Mm-hmm.
it's available here, I can practice with them.
That's great. That's great. And what about that news of Atul Subhash? What are your views on that? Do you really think that men are getting tortured in our country by their housewives? Like, what are your points on it?
I don't know. You have to explain.
Hmm. Okay. For me, like when I heard that news that Atul was being tortured by her housewife and her housewife's family, and then he committed suicide, you know, in that matter. So this was something, and we can call it an eye opener because not everybody comes forward, and he also took his life, right? But there are many cases, even around me also, I've seen many people, getting frustrated out of their married life because of their housewives or because of their extended family. So they keep on. They think that men is like like an ATM machine. So they just use them for money, and the men's are getting just tortured by them. They are just what can I say, they are just bearing all these things, all this torture, and they're not able to say anything because they are fearful of that social stigma, that what people will say, how people will label them, right? They'll label them as coward, that they are not able to discipline their wives or discipline their extended family, and they are just being the victim of this case, right? So they don't come forward. They don't come forward and speak about it. They don't even speak to anybody else. They just keep all the grudge, all the pain to themselves. So that is why they suffer a lot and throughout their life. And many of the men just take their life, right? They commit suicide. So that is an eye opener, and that is a harsh reality of our society, I must say. And everyone should come forward. And it's very difficult to, to release your identity, to show your identity in front of many people. That Atul did, but then moreover, he took his life, right? So there was no benefit to him. But yes, this step of him, that he provided every evidence, he provided this note also, suicide note also, 24 pages suicide note he wrote about it. So he wrote about everything. So now uh, media is covering all the news. So many people around around the world, around India, are coming forward to speak about that topic. So now people are getting aware of this. Many people don't know, like, who to approach whenever they face such kind of violence or such kind of abuse. They don't know, like, who to approach. Now they are able to know because many organizations, those who are working in favor of men, they come forward in news channels. So now they can definitely approach them. So
Yes,
that's the good thing. But yes, he committed suicide. That's the wrong part about it.
yes, ma'am. Because these are the things common, happening in our life. So we
Mm-hmm.
need to fast it, and we have to work. So what we are getting finally. So if you are going to suicide means, we lost our life.
Hmm. We are not getting anything out of it. And he wrote in his suicidal note that justice is due. Maybe he'll get justice now, but he's no longer here. So there is no benefit,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So yes, there are no laws in favor of man in our Indian constitution. There are no laws in favor of men. So that is also somewhere we are lacking in our country. So yes, the government should also introduce some laws that could favor men also. And women are some women, I would say, some women are just misusing the laws that are made for women. So that's
Yes,
happening in this country.
true, ma'am. True.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, you were speaking very well. I watched so many your videos.
Mm-hmm.
Practice, ma'am. How did you learn, and how was your initial stage? for learning
Mhm.
this?
So I started my journey 2 to 3 months ago. And from then, I've been continuously taking up conversation through Skype and through YouTube. And that is how I am improving. I also don't get much time to immerse myself in English because I am a homemaker and mother as well. And that too of two boys. And they just keep me on my toes throughout the day. So now they are off to school. So that is why I'm able to take conversation and do, take up classes. But whenever they come back from school, I am like just running here and there after them. So like it's completely dedicated to them. So that's how my life is going on, and this is the reason that I don't get much time to watch or to read something. So whatever I'm learning through interactions only. And I'm not even consistent, I must say. I'm consistent in conversation, but not consistent in immersing myself in an English. So that is why I also fumble sometimes. So I must say that immersion is really very important. If you want to be fluent in a faster manner, then immerse yourself in English every day, practice speaking every day, right? So this is the thing that matters most. So that's my journey. It's just I'm with slow pace, I'm just going on.
Yes, actually, I saw your last video past, I think one month ago with
Mm-hmm.
Ramachandran. That yeah,
Uh-huh.
the really fantastic conversation. It was conversation with him. So after
Mm.
that, I saw your video with Rajani ma'am, and I think you spoke with Shanta ma'am also from Karnataka, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I have seen so many videos. Really,
Mm-hmm.
think, you are working really hard, ma'am, because you have oh, you are a homemaker and you have a
Mm-hmm.
kids. So how do you manage, ma'am, everything? Because
Mm-hmm.
manage your kids. The kids are not listening our
Mm-hmm.
parents. So they are always doing something. They are
Mm-hmm.
spiking things. They are not sometimes they are not able to ready to study also. So
Mm-hmm.
how simultaneously you are managing family, managing kids, and you are immersing in this language, running YouTube channel, everything you are doing. How do you manage, ma'am?
So I would say whenever my kids are around, I cannot do anything. So I don't keep conversation. I don't keep any work like this kind of work whenever they are around. So I just try to find some quiet time when they are off to school. So they are off to school around 9 o'clock, and then they come back around 2:30. So meanwhile, I try to take up conversation because this is quite time during the day. So I can just make most out of it. So I do something productive. I take classes, two classes in a day, and that too in morning hours. And I try to take one conversation. And there are many other chores also that we need to take care of. So this is how I manage. It's although it's very difficult.
Yeah, ma'am. Before learning this language, did you take any coaching from somewhere? Like
Mm-hmm.
you are some videos, from English Ari
Mm-hmm. Right.
in so many your videos with them. Did you
Mm-hmm.
take?
I took subscription of English Yari, and there were around 17 classes, and we used to talk mostly on topics. There were different topics for different classes, so we used to talk on that topic. So from there also I've learned many new vocabularies and many new grammar rules. So that was really helpful. And before that also, when I started my journey in English like 2 3 months ago, then I approached Mopriya ma'am also for teaching classes because I wanted to tutor people in English. So I approached her for teaching classes, and I took 20 classes from her. And she taught me like how to teach beginner students and what activities we can introduce, how to make classes engaging, and all that, all the things that are required for training purpose. So she taught me all these things. And that is really very important because when you work alone, when you work all by yourself, it takes a lot of time, right? But if you want to do it really quick or in faster manner, then you need to take help from someone experienced, right? So they can teach you, and simultaneously you can learn from experiences.
Yes, yes. Yeah, good, ma'am. And one more thing, I want to ask one more question, ma'am. Initially, I am the earlier time. So sometimes, for the beginners, they couldn't speak any single word. So
Hmm.
some we are not understanding new vocabs. We are not able to comprehend new words. So how did you comprehend the new words in the initial
Hmm.
time?
Initially, Initially, whenever I come across any new word, what did I do? I have this whiteboard at my home. I used to write whatever new words I'm coming across. I used to write there, and whenever I just go past by, I used to just have a look whenever, like 2 to 3 times in a day. So this is how I used to memorize all those words. But then I used to do a lot of research on that word, like what is the meaning, what are the antonyms, synonyms, and some sentences that I can make out of those words. So this is how I was able to register that word in my mind for a longer time. When you know the meaning, when you know the context in which you can use that word, then only you are able to speak, or then only you are able to incorporate all those words in your speaking. So just knowing the words is not important. You need to do a lot of research. You should be curious enough to learn the language, and then you'll do all the research. You'll do whatever it takes. So this
Yeah.
is how I learned my vocabularies.
Yeah, actually you are right, ma'am. Because
Hmm.
sometimes the people are while conversing, they are using some vocabs. We are
Hmm.
not, we are not comprehending the new words. So we have to register in somewhere. We have to search for that synonym words
Hmm.
and words and try to make some sentences on that particular part. We have to try to
Hmm.
10 or 20 sentences my own. So
Hmm.
then only we can easily remember in our, we can register in our mind. Otherwise, sometimes we are hearing some words and after that we are forgetting everything. So for that purpose, we have to work hard and hard for new vocabs and new tricks we have to follow. So we can
Hmm.
easily get our communication,
Hmm.
our language.
Right. Also, sometimes we have lot many vocabulary in mind, but it's just that while speaking, we are not able to recall them. But when somebody else speaks that vocabulary, we are able to remind all those, and then we can surely incorporate all those in our speaking. So we have to deliberately do it. It will not come to you naturally. We have to deliberately use it, and then only you'll be able to do it further also.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have seen so many YouTuber conversations, ma'am. I think, did you speak with ma'am Newton Deep?
No, no, not yet.
Ma'am, she's speaking always. She's speaking new with new vocabs only. Always,
Hmm.
if speaks this vocab tomorrow, she's not using. She's
Hmm.
using vocabs. So that
Hmm.
time, I need to understand that words.
Hmm. I believe that basic English is the best English that can be understood by everyone, right? When we keep on using new vocabularies, or especially advanced vocabularies that people might not be able to understand it, and there is no sense to speak about it because they are not able to understand. And they'll always have to look up to dictionary or look up to any app to get the meaning. So better to speak basic vocabulary.
Yeah,
So
basic.
that's what I follow. Hmm.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, it's good because yeah, we are the Indians, so we have to speak our simple words and
Mhm.
accent, and only the people can understand. So,
Mhm.
what about us? She is elevating herself, and she is
Mhm.
teaching one also. So it's
Mhm.
also better. But according to my opinion, we have to
Mhm.
speak single vocabs and simple. If you speak simple, people can easily understand. So that
Mhm.
is for me, ma'am.
Right. Our main motive should be to just get across our message, and it should be understandable to listener. But still, everybody have different goals in their life. So her goal might be just to elevate her English to whole another level. So she's doing that way. Our goal is to be at basic English level so that everybody could understand it. So just to polish our basic English only. So everybody have different goals.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. In your opinion, what tricks I have to follow to get fluency? How do you feel about me, ma'am?
You are already fluent, I must say. Even I fumble sometimes, but you are already fluent. Your flow was just as smooth as butter, I must say, because I haven't noticed even a single place where you fumbled. So you're
Mm,
doing great, right? You are able to express your thoughts very nicely, and already you're reading storybooks, you are narrating stories to your kids, so that's a perfect approach. And you should continue doing it, whatever is helping you, just continue doing it because you're already doing well.
okay, thank you, ma'am.
Right. All right, so that's all for today.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, then we'll meet some other day, and have a great day ahead. Okay, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.